Hey guys! So I know that live lettering is way behind schedule. There's also a really good chance that Andy will walk in and the dogs will go crazy. So if that happens, I'll probably jump and mess up whatever I'm writing. Let me see here. Hey Brandy. Thanks for hopping on. Oh, hey Candace. Look at you two. Alright, that is, I think maybe I can pen this. Let's see. No, maybe not. Oh, there we go. Okay, so today's plan, since half of my followers who voted last week wanted favorite materials, was to do a favorite materials guide and walk you through using those and why they're my favorite and stuff like that. But per my actual Instagram feed post, if you saw that today, was all about waiting until the last minute. And I waited until the last minute / sat on my couch and enjoyed myself way too long this morning. And the materials guide isn't done, and I'm putting way more in it than I had originally planned as far as links and photos and ways that you can share, testing them out, all that kind of stuff. So it's getting delayed, but it's going to be better than I originally thought it was going to be. So hopefully you don't mind. So I'm calling an audible on today and pushing off that materials guide for a week or so until I can get it exactly how I want it. And today I'm going to show you kind of my process for going through an actual client order, because I have one I need to work on. So I have this order for a bunch of menu items and signage for an event tomorrow morning. Yes, tomorrow morning. I said that. So I like things in paper and in front of me that I can reference easily and quickly. So I printed out the actual email from the person, and I'm not going to show you that, but then I go through and make my own notes about what's needed, and kind of what I'm going to write them on. So these 3 items are going to go on a small chalkboard. These items are all going on tent cards. There's also a mirror and some other things involved that I'm not going to put on my desk and show you. This paper in front of you right now is actually a page of stickers that I'm going to letter on. So anyway, here's some tags with holes already cut in them, and here's tent cards. They're just not folded in half. So if you don't know what I'm talking about with tent cards, they are these guys, where they just sit in front of whatever the item is on your, typically a food bar, drink bar, whatever it may be. But they can be used for all kinds of things. Jewelry displays, event displays, whatever you may need. So, now that I have the list kind of planned out how I want it, which I did ahead of time, typically I test all of my surfaces with the materials. So I got out, per usual, a big giant pile of stuff that I'm going to be using. And what I like to do is test the surface, so to make sure things don't bleed, to make sure the colors show through the way I think they're going to, all of that good stuff. So here's my test card with some of the actual words that I'll be writing to test the thickness of the pen. So you'll notice the difference between the screen and the screen up here. One's much thicker than the other. Yeah, so that's kind of my process of prepping it. And then I was just kind of going to go through and do some of them. And you guys can ask questions if you have questions, or I don't know, anything else you want to know about my process for starting and testing client orders. Let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of sit here for a few minutes and work on some of these, and that'll be that. So if you hopped on a little bit later, thanks everybody for joining. I'm pushing off the materials guide until next week because I'm making that way prettier and way better than I had originally planned, which is a good thing. And then today I'm going to work on a client order. So I'm just going to get going. Let me know if you have questions. Otherwise, I'm going to sit here and work. Sung, I don't know what that is. Is that the thing where it's like calming and people, it like puts you to sleep? Or like, I feel like somebody's asked me that before. And if that's not what you're talking about, you're totally going to have to explain. I haven't necessarily thought about doing that in the particular genre, but I am considering making, well, I technically have a YouTube channel. I just don't actually post anything in it ever. I just forget about it. And I was considering beefing up my efforts in that area and putting up way more videos, even if they're just like short 30-second type tutorials or talking about something. Yeah. Awesome song. Thanks. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, okay, so that is what I was thinking then. Does that stand for something? Clearly, I'm not up on my terminology. I feel like there's some of like noises or like, I don't know, creaking boards and stuff that people like to, or weird, I don't know. But yes, videos and YouTube. For sure. All right, so if you're hopping on a little bit later after my intro, I'm just working on a client order right now. I'm pushing off my materials guide for another week or so I can add all the things I really want to add and include some links and stuff like that. So I walked through how I kind of set up and test my materials at the beginning of the live. And if you missed that, I can go over it again if you guys want. Or I'm just sitting here working on an order, unless you guys have questions. So, yeah, that's it, Song. Automated sensory motor response. I knew there was a nice long explanation for that. Yeah, I totally should do that because I hear that people watching lettering videos find it very relaxing. So I should just pull out a whole bunch of practice sheets and letter them one day and put it up there. That'd be a good idea. But I'm going to sit here and letter away. If you guys have questions about what I'm doing or how I'm doing it, or want to see kind of the process of how I laid out what I'm doing again, just let me know. Oh, thanks, Kim. I need to see some of your painting live, especially those birds with all the attitude. Sung, this order is for a brunch. So these are actually going to be hanging on juices, and it's going to be for a mimosa bar. So it's going to be orange juice that you can put your champagne in, peach, and then pineapple. And then the food menu items that we talked about for the tent cards are just going to be on the bar, or the food bar, I guess, to label what all is in them and stuff like that. And then there's going to be a big coffee chalkboard sign that the chalkboard's currently drying right now that I also get to do. But that might be a totally separate video if I do that one live, because there's a little bit more setup involved there. All right. Thanks, Song. Have a great night. Hey, Brooke. Bye, Kim. Have a great night. Thanks for joining in. Alright guys, so that's probably enough of me sitting here doing work and letting you guys chime in with any questions or just walk. Walk. I wish I was walking around. It's nice out. Watch is what I was trying to say, but hope that was a little bit helpful, if not just a nice break from whatever you're doing. Just working on a client order here. Thought I would give you a little behind the scenes of how I get set up, how I test my materials, and all that good stuff. So be on the lookout for hopefully some finished pictures of once the whole order, chalkboard, and everything is done. But thanks for tuning in again, and some, again, great idea with that relaxing thing. So maybe I'll look into that. As always, if there's questions or follow-up or ideas or requests for another live topic, then let me know. Thanks, guys, and hope you guys have a great rest of your Thursday.